Welcome back. What are the gifts of the Spirit that are brought to the earth and all her people on Pentecost Sunday? How are these gifts used? We know the earth offers so many gifts and resources for us. What about our individual gifts? What about the gifts that we all have, such as the gift of prophecy, being able to speak truth to power, being able to name injustices? What about the gift of understanding, being really able to hear, listen, and be compassionate about what other people are saying, regardless of their language? What about the gift of teaching, being able to communicate to others, having the patience to share our knowledge and experience and wisdom? What is your special gift? And how do you share it? This is something for us to think about in the season of Pentecost, to think about how we might contribute not only our financial resources to the church, but our other gifts to help with the churching that needs to go on in our world and our community. For those who wish to contribute to the ongoing ministry of St. Andrew's United in Bayfield, which includes the Mission and Service Fund, I encourage you to click on the donate button on our website where you find this service, or else you can always mail checks to the church. Our post office box is 202 Bayfield, Ontario, NOM1GO. And I know many people continue to share their resources and gifts through their monthly PAR offerings and in other creative ways. All of these gifts are important in bringing hope to a troubled world and in bringing God's mission and God's Spirit to places that need to be touched by it. So may all of the gifts that we share be blessed to these purposes. I'd like to share one more announcement as I'm talking about gathering at Port Elgin, which is not to happen. Another important gathering that we do every year is on Canada Day, where for, I think, 57 years, St. Andrew's Church has held an annual fundraising barbecue on that date, which has brought together people to work in preparing for it and brought together a community of locals and visitors alike who share in this wonderful meal and fellowship every single year. Well, as with all things, this is not going to happen in this way this year. But a small group is organizing it as a fundraiser because the money that we raise from this event is still very important to the mission and the operation of St. Andrew's. And so this year people are invited to an isolation celebration in their own backyards where you can still dress up in red and white. I know people have their Canada Day outfits that they like to pull out each year. And you can have a takeout meal or just make a simple hot dog for yourself. Maybe take a picture and send it into our Facebook page so that we can share it. And just relax on Canada Day, but still be thankful for living in this wonderful country. And instead of baking all those pies and doing all that labor that surrounds this event, we ask people this year to consider making a donation based on what they might have spent or the time they might have put in or the tickets they might have bought, and still make this towards our barbecue fundraiser, and it can be donated in the same ways I mentioned earlier. We're hoping that this can still be a special event that will carry on for years to come. Our final hymn today is in Spanish, and it's a song from the Taizé community in France, where young, faithful people gather to sing repeating chants in a variety of languages. And they often sing them at the same time. So one person might be singing in Spanish, another in German, another in Latin. And the words just somehow manage to overlap in a beautiful way that is all and creates an all-encompassing mosaic of praise and worship. And so this virtual choir today is singing a Taizé song, and Resurrectione tuo Christe. And then following that, our service will end as it began with another version of the Swahili hymn, Mimina Nina. And this time the lyrics will be on the screen so that you can clap and sing along as you might. And do you remember what those words mean? Mimina Nina? This is going to be our final blessing. Memina Nina. May you be saturated with God's good grace. May you be soaked with the Holy Spirit. May you be immersed in the peace of Christ and plunged into new ways of churching in the world. Go forth with many blessings. Benedictiones. Memina Nina. Amen.